Welcome back to Tour Senior Living Spotlight. I'm Stella. Today we're going to talk about a hard question. Why did they say no? Families call me all the time after community turns them away. They are sad, sometimes they are angry. Most of the time, nobody told them what to expect. So today I'm going to walk you through all 10 reasons so by the end, you will know exactly what to ask and you will never be caught off guard again. And here is the most important thing I want you to hear today. No does not mean never. It means not here. And I'm going to show you where to go next for every single one of these reasons. Let's get started. But before we get into the list, I want to explain something to you. It will help you feel less hurt when you hear that no. Communities in Texas have a license. That license tells them exactly what kind of care they can give. When a community says no, they are following their license. They are not being mean. They are being honest. Think of it this way. If your child has a broken arm, you go to an ER. You do not go to a dentist. The dentist is great, but broken arms are not their job. It is the same with senior care. Assisted living, what we call type A and type B, helps people who need some support, but they are not hospitals. They are not skilled nursing homes. When someone needs more care than they can safely give, they have to say no. That is the right thing to do. Okay, let's go through all 10. For each one, I will tell you what it is, why it causes a problem, and what to do next. Barrier number 1, shots and injections. Some people need shots every day. Insulin for diabetes, Ozempic, other medicines that come in a needle form. Here is the problem. In Texas, only a nurse can give a shot. Most assisted living homes do not have nurses on staff, so they cannot give your loved one their injection. That is why they say no. I helped a family last year. Their mom took insulin twice a day. Simple, easy. She did it at home with no problems. But when they toured a community they loved, the director said, "We cannot give shots here. We do not have a nurse on site." The family was heartbroken, but, I told them this community was doing the right thing. They were honest. And because of that, we were able to find a different place that, that was a better fit. And we did not waste 6 weeks. So the solution, find a community with a nurse on staff. It will cost more, usually $2,000 to $4,000 extra per month, or start in a skilled nursing home until the shots are no longer needed. Then move to assisted living. What to ask? Do you have a nurse on staff? What hours? Can they give injections? Barrier number 2, open wounds. Some people come out of surgery with a wound that is still healing. It needs to be cleaned and bandaged every day. That is called wound care, and it takes a trained nurse to do it safely. Assisted living staff are not nurses. They help with bathing and dressing and meals. They are not trained to clean and pack a wound. Asking them to do it would put your loved one at risk. Here is what this looks like. Your dad just had hip surgery. The hospital sends him home. The paperwork says he is ready for assisted living, but this cut still needs daily wound checks. A good community will say, "We love your dad, but we cannot care for his wound safely right now. Spend 30 to 60 days in a skilled nursing home, let the wound heal, then come back." So the solution? Start in a skilled nursing home first. Most wounds heal in 4 to 8 weeks. Once the wound is closed, you can move to assisted living. So what to ask? Does my loved one have any open wounds? Can you care for wounds if one comes up later? Barrier number 3, needs 2 people to help move them. Some people need 2 staff members to help them move safely, getting from the bed to a wheelchair, from the wheelchair to the toilet. This is called a 2-person assist. This is one of the most common reasons families hear no. And it's not personal, it is math. Picture a small home with 16 residents. On the morning shift, there are 3 caregivers. That means each caregiver looks after about 5 people. If your loved one needs 2 of those 3 caregivers every single time they move, only 1 person is left for the other 15 residents. That is not safe for anyone. The bigger communities have more staff. They can handle this. The smaller homes often cannot, even when they really want to. So the solution, look for bigger communities with 50 or more residents and more staff on each shift, or hire a private aide for 4 to 6 hours a day to be the second person. That usually costs $1,500 to $2,500 extra per month. Here's what to ask. How many caregivers do you have at night? Can you handle a two-person assist? Barrier number 4, behavior that is hard to manage. Some people with dementia get scared or confused. When that happens, they may hit. They may try to walk out the door and get lost. This is called elopement. They may have had to go to a hospital for a mental health crisis. These behaviors can be very hard to manage. Not every community has the right training or enough staff to do it safely, so they say no. I want to say this clearly. This is not about who your loved one is as a person. These are medical symptoms, just like a fever, just like pain. Your loved one is not bad. They are sick, and they need a place that knows how to help them. The good news is those places exist. Some memory care communities have staff who are trained just for this. They know how to stay calm. They know how to keep everyone safe. They know how to connect with someone who is scared. The solution? Look for a memory care community with behavior training. Ask about the dementia care program and how they handle hard moments. What to ask? Has your staff been trained in behavior management? What do you do when a resident gets aggressive? How do you keep people from wandering out? Barrier number 5, dialysis. When someone's kidneys stop working well, they need dialysis. That means going to a special clinic, usually 3 days a week, for a treatment that cleans their blood. This takes a lot of coordination, transportation, strict rules about what they eat and drink, special medicine plans. Most assisted living homes cannot manage all of this. So here is why this matters so much. Dialysis is not optional. It is not like a dentist appointment you can reschedule. Missing one treatment can send someone to the emergency room. The community has to make sure it happens every single time. Rain, traffic, short staffed day, it does not matter. It still has to happen. And most assisted living homes just are not set up for that. So the solution? Look for a skilled nursing home that specializes in kidney care, or find a higher level assisted living home that has medical transportation built in. What to ask? Have you cared for someone on dialysis before? Can you arrange rides to dialysis? What happens if they miss a treatment? Barrier number 6, complex brain and nerve conditions. Some conditions are very specific and very hard to care for. Huntington's disease, late-stage Parkinson's, very advanced dementia with special care needs. These conditions need staff with special training. Not every memory care community has it. A place that is great for Alzheimer's may not be the right fit for Huntington's. The needs are just too different. Take Huntington's disease. The person may shake without being able to stop. They may have trouble swallowing. They may get confused and angry. Their care is very hands-on and very specific. A community that has never cared for someone with Huntington's may not know how to do it safely. That is not their fault. It just means they are not the right fit. This has nothing to do with your loved one's worth. It's about matching the right care to the right place. The solution? Look for a specialized memory care home or skilled nursing facility. For Huntington's, the Huntington's Disease Society of America has a list of trained care homes you can search. What to ask? Have your staff been trained in this specific condition? Have you cared for someone with this before? Barrier number 7, just left the hospital. Your loved one just had surgery or they were very sick. Now they are out of the hospital, but they still need IV medicines. Their body is still healing. Their health is not stable yet. Communities want people to be stable before they move in. And honestly, that is the best for your loved one too. Here is why. Moving is hard. New rooms, new faces, new smells and sounds. For an older adult who just went through something scary, all of this newness can actually make their recovery worse. A skilled nursing home watches them around the clock. That protection matters right now. Most communities are not saying no forever. They are saying no, like not yet. Give it 2 to 6 weeks. Let the body settle. Then let's talk. So the solution? Spend 2 to 6 weeks in a skilled nursing home first. Once the doctor says they are stable, move to assisted living. What to ask? How stable does someone need to be before you can admit them? If my loved one is in the hospital right now, when can you meet with them? Barrier number 8, a history with alcohol or drugs. This one surprises families. If your loved one is still dealing with addiction, or if they recently were, some communities will say no. Their license does not cover it, and it can affect the safety of other residents. I want to say something important here. Having a history with addiction does not mean someone deserves less care. Every person deserves to be treated with dignity. Addiction is a health issue, not a character flaw. But the care setting has to match the need. A regular assisted living home is not set up to support someone in recovery. They may not know the signs of withdrawal. They may not have the right tools. Putting someone in the wrong setting does not help them. It puts them at risk. The solution? There are senior living communities built just for this. They are designed to support older adults in recovery. They understand the needs. They have the right training. So what to ask? Have you worked with the resident in recovery before? How do you support someone with a substance use history? Barrier number 9, they cannot take part in their own care. Assisted living is a team effort. The staff helps, but your loved one needs to be able to show what they need in some way, even in a small way. If your loved one cannot communicate at all, cannot signal pain, cannot show that they are uncomfortable, cannot respond in any way, that is beyond what assisted living can safely handle. Let me be clear about what I mean by take part. I'm not saying they need to talk. I am not saying they need to be independent. I mean something as small as a hand squeeze, a sound, a look, something that tells the caregiver what they need. When even that is gone, the person needs skilled nursing care, 24-hour monitoring by trained medical staff. There are beautiful caring skilled nursing homes. This is not a step down. It is the right level of care. So the solution, a skilled nursing facility is the right next step. Look for one with a strong reputation for compassionate, dignified care. So what to ask? How do you decide if someone can participate in their care plan? How do you check that when someone first arrives? Barrier number 10, not enough staff for hard dementia behaviors. Some people with dementia have behaviors that are unpredictable. They may hit or kick or scratch, not because they want to hurt anyone, because they are scared and they cannot tell you why. Keeping everyone safe takes trained staff, enough people on each shift, and the right building setup. Not every community has all three. Here is what to look for when you need a community that can handle this. Ask if they have a memory care unit that is fully locked and licensed on its own. Ask how often their staff changes. High staff turnover is a red flag. New faces every week make dementia worse. Ask them to describe what they do when a resident is having a very hard moment. Their answer will tell you everything. So the solution, look for a dedicated memory care community. They should have low staff turnover, a locked unit, and specific training in dementia and behavior support. So what to ask? What do you do when a resident becomes physically aggressive? How often does your memory care staff change? Is your memory care unit separately licensed? You now know all 10 barriers, so here is a big question. How do you keep this from happening to you? I call this the before you tour list. Ask these 6 questions before you even step foot in a community. Ask them on the phone before you fall in love with the garden, before you picture your mom at the activity table. Ask first. Question 1. What kind of care are you licensed for? Type A, Type B, or both? Question 2. Do you have a nurse on staff? What days? What hours? Question 3. Can you care for someone who needs, and then whatever that specific need your loved one needs? Question 4. How many caregivers do you have on the night shift? Question 5. What happens if my loved one's needs change after they move in? Question 6. What would cause you to ask someone to leave? 6 questions. That is it. If they answer all 6 honestly, even if some answers are no, that is a good community. An honest community, that is one I would trust with your family. Here's what I want you to take home today. When a community says no, they are protecting your loved one. They are saying, I cannot promise what I cannot deliver. I will not put your loved one somewhere that is not safe for them. I will not take your money and hope for the best. That is honesty. That is doing the right thing. I have seen what happens when a community says yes when they should have said no. I have gotten the 2 a.m. phone call. We have tried, but we just cannot do this anymore. And the family has to find a new home fast in the middle of a crisis. Their loved one is upset. They are exhausted. It is one of the hardest things I've ever helped someone through. A community that says no up front saves your family from that. Even when it does not feel like a gift, it is one. So when you hear no, take a breath, then call me. There is always a next step. There's always a right fit. We just have to find it together. Want the full list of the 10 barriers, what to do for each one, and the 6 questions to ask before you tour? Go to StellaWilliamsTX.com and go to the free guide section, and you should be able to download it from there. If you are in Central Texas, Austin, Williamson County, Hayes County, Bastrop, and are dealing with any of these right now, I am here to help you find the right community for your loved one's real needs. Not just a pretty building, the right fit. You can call or text me, 737-389-2130. I am here for you, so just feel free to call me. Have a blessed day.